Okay, team. So I have to tell you a couple of things. The first thing is, every single day that I go to work, I think of a reason that I should be retired. Today, it was having a doctor's appointment after work, and I was okay with that until I realized that my doctor had changed offices and I had to get on the freeway in rush hour traffic in order to get here. So that is something that I'm probably thinking I'm not going to have to do in retirement. In retirement, I can make my appointments after 9, before 1 or 2 in the afternoon, not have to worry about rush hour traffic and things like that. Because it just kills me to drive in rush hour traffic, especially when I think of the fact that this doctor used to be closer to my job and I could take the streets to get there. And so it was just really not a problem. But now it's a problem. I will tell you that this doctor does offer telehealth, but you don't get all the benefits of going and of seeing the doctor through the telehealth system. So part of the real conversation is, one of the things I'm doing to prepare for my retirement is trying to get healthy. Now, when I first started talking to Maggie, and in case you don't know, Maggie is YouTube. I named my YouTube after my grandmother. So when I first started talking to Maggie, the very first video that I did talked about my weight loss journey and how I wanted to take you, the team, along with me. Which reminds me, I probably should introduce myself. My name is Marie, and I'm on a journey to retirement. I have not yet retired, so we're playing it by ear, making plans day by day, looking at the benefits of retirement, even looking at retirement videos. I just watched a video of a lady who said that she retired for 8 months and then she had to go back to work, and she talked about all of the benefits that she found for that 8 months that she was in retirement. And I tell you, I cannot wait. I pray that my journey is longer than 8 months, that I don't have any type of emergency that requires me to have to go back to work once I retire. We already know, if you've listened to any of my previous videos, that I don't really have an income or a saving that is really conducive to retirement. But we gonna make that work, because I refuse, and you'll probably hear me say this in every single video, I refuse to work until the day I die. I can't. I won't. There was a lady Monday at my job. I'm not going to say what my job is or what her name is, but she had a heart attack at 85 at work. She's currently, as I film this video, still in the hospital, and I'm wishing her the best. But the fact that she survived, I prayed for that, is part one. And part two, I pray that she takes this as a sign that life is too short to die at work, because that's how I feel. Life is too short to die at work. I probably should have had this revelation 10 or 20 years ago, and I probably would have been better prepared for it. But that being said, we're preparing now. We're preparing even mentally, if not physically or emotionally, or all of those other good things to go along with it. Something else that I learned on this journey, and then I have to tell you about, because it's kind of funny and I just thought about it, is I started making a video, and I thought it was going to be a really good video because it was a day in the life of how I feel retirement will be. And I took this class because, as I said, I think you should learn something every day, and you can learn something new. You could add to knowledge you already have, but it's something you should do. And it's part of a hobby that I already have that I always practice, which is sewing. I've been sewing all my life since I took my first sewing class when I was in junior high school. Back then, we had home economics, and one of the home economics class was sewing, and the other one was cooking. And I can still do both, I'm just saying. But I took a class and I filmed people in the class and progress in the class. I filmed the instructor in the class. And then I found out that I did not know how to edit videos. So I have all of these video clips, and hopefully one day you'll get to see them because they're really interesting. But I have all these video clips and do not know how to put them together into a cohesive video. So that's something else I can learn. So that goes back to me saying learn something new every day, and it's twofold. You could add on to the knowledge that you already have, taking advanced classes, learning new techniques in your subject matter, things like that, or you can learn something totally new. If you plan on retirement, and this is what I've always believed, you have to have something to do. You have to have purpose. You have to have meaning. People who have put their jobs as, this is my job, this is my identity, this is who I am, and they don't have any plans for retirement, from the people I talk to, they just have a really hard time at it. They say, oh, you'll be bored, or oh, I didn't know what to do with myself. I even knew a person who, unfortunately, retirement, and before he collected his first retirement check, passed away. I don't want to be that person. And I don't want you to be that person. So plan on things that you want to do. Someone said, go to the community center. Almost every city has a community center where you can go and you can learn new things, or you can play games, or you can meet new people. I have a friend who is almost ready to retire, and he still wants to be of service. So once he retires, he wants to volunteer. He wants to be able to drive other seniors around to their doctor's appointments and things like that. And that's a wonderful thing. I've been volunteering off and on all my life. It's something that was built into myself by my mother. My mother had me volunteer as a, oh God, I can't even remember the name of the picture. It had something to do with stripes. But it was basically volunteering in the hospital, helping out, candy striper. I don't know why because they wore red and white uniforms like a candy cane, I guess. So they call it candy striper. So that was my first volunteer job. And I've been volunteering all my life. I worked for the Red Cross for almost 15 years. But before I worked for the Red Cross, I had been a volunteer for years. And as a volunteer, one of the employees who worked there thought that I had such a good work ethic as a volunteer that when I got laid off from my job that moved out of state, they recommended that they hire me, and they did. And it was a wonderful experience. So you never know where volunteer is going to lead you. I don't want volunteer to lead me into another job, because when I retire, that's exactly what I want it to be. I want it to be on my days, my terms, my plans, and to fit into the plans of the other things that I want to do. I want to continue to sew. I want to travel. I want to see other parts of the United States and other parts of the world. So I think all of that is to say that I'm sitting in front of my doctor's office. This is a weight loss doctor. And my first video was about weight loss, and I'm still on that journey. Now, since that first video, which was, I think, in November of 2024, I've lost about 55 pounds, and that's not bad. And truth be told, I lost it using Wegovy. Now, this month, January, I have been on Wegovy from the time I mentioned, so over when I first started the journey, I wasn't on Wegovy. I guess I went on Wegovy at 2025, and not that long after my employer stopped paying for it, but I continued to use it all the way up to, we'll say, January 1st. But I'll say 6 months I have been in a plateau. I have not lost a pound, haven't really gained a pound. Oh, we'll see, because I'll get on the scale today. But my doctors have changed me to Zepbound. So I've had 2 shots of Zepbound, so I will take another one tomorrow. So it'll be the 3rd shot of Zepbound. I don't feel any different yet. I think the Wegovy has wore off and the Zepbound hasn't started working yet. And so, but I know it's a slow process and it's steps, and you have to titrate into higher doses. And I was on the highest dose of Wegovy, but I had just plateaued. So we're trying something new. So give a thumbs up if you want to hear about my weight loss journey as I go forward with this. But mainly is working towards retirement. I want to be healthy when I retire. I want to be able to walk, because when I'm going to these other places, I want to be able to sightsee, and I want to be able to do things, and I want to be able to participate. And it's hard to do that when you're overweight, and I was overweight. At the time I made the first video, I was 226 pounds, which is the heaviest I had ever been. And maybe I'll continue this video after I come from the doctor's office. I'm kind of scared because, again, I don't know how to put together 2 videos. But I'm going to guess that my weight is about 170 pounds. At least that's what I was 2 weeks ago, at 170 pounds. So with that being said, don't feel like you missed my journey because I lost 55 pounds. I still have likely 30 more pounds to lose, and I hope to lose that in 2026. So that's a long story to get to that goal to let you guys know, and part of how frustrating it was to drive to this doctor's appointment. And maybe in another video I'll talk about, because I'm thinking about, do I change to online compounded Zepbound, and part of it might be the price, because I've been paying full price for brand name medications for a long time, and believe me, it is not cheap. When I was doing Wegovy, it was $500 a month. It finally went down to $349 a month, and I got 1 month at $349 before I got changed to Zepbound, which was at $300. But I hear that as you go up in strength, the price goes up. And if that's the case, then likely I will change to the online compounding pharmacies to get a better price, because I do want this journey to continue, and I do want to reach my goal. And in that case too, if I'm using the online, then likely I will not be driving over here to this doctor as well. So there's a whole lot of things to go into that, but that's a decision made for another day. Anyway, it's time for me to go in for my appointment, so I'm just going to sign off right now. Say take care. You'll hear from me soon.